Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi everyone. My name is Nursery and welcome to Biofarm Sabah. Before we begin, I want you to just take a moment, look around this beautiful scenery, lush greenery, healthy plants and fresh air. This is the starting point of where our food comes from. Have you ever wondered, when you eat your food, salad or vegetables, how much care and effort in every bite? Many people only see the end product, but today we're going to show you the full journey, step by step, from a tiny seed until the harvest time. Biofarm is a shining example of sustainable farming in Sabah. They don't rely heavily on chemicals and machines. Instead, they use natural methods combined with clever modern technology. That's why the vegetables grown here are not only fresh but also safer to eat and environmentally friendly. Another interesting thing to note, Biofarm supports the local economy by hiring workers from nearby village, creating jobs and making farming attractive to the younger generation. A lot of young farmers are trained here, proving that agriculture isn't old-fashioned. It's actually a modern, high-potential career. In this video, each of my group members will explain a different phase of the farming process.
Hi guys, my name is Siti Aisyah, so let's move to my part. In this section, we are going to explore one of the most important early stage in cucumber plant growth, the germination process. Getting this stage right lays the groundwork for a healthy and productive cucumber plant, whether you are growing them in a home garden, greenhouse or pots. Before we start planting, it's important to choose the right type of cucumber seeds. There are two main types of cucumbers. First is slicing cucumbers, which are long and used fresh in salads, and pickling cucumbers, which is shorter and better suited for preserving. You also find bunch varieties, which are compact and perfect for pots or small gardens, and vining varieties which need more space and a trellis to climb but typically produce more fruit. If you are growing in a humid or rainy region, I recommend choosing disease-resistant varieties, look for seeds labeled as resistant to powdery mildew, downy mildew, or cucumber mosaic virus. Cucumber seeds can be sown directly into the ground or started indoors and later transplanted. Indoor sowing is best if you want to start early before the rainy season or if your area is still a bit cool. You can start seeds indoors about 2 to 4 weeks before transplanting them outdoors. Outdoor sowing is suitable when soil temperatures are warm above 21 degrees Celsius or 70 Fahrenheit, which is ideal for cucumber. Let's talk about how to plant the seeds. If you are starting indoors, fill small pots or seed trays with light, well-draining seed starting mix. Make a hole about 1 to 1.5 centimeters deep, about half an inch, and drop in a single seed. Cover lightly with soil and mix with water. If you are planting outdoors, make small mounds or hills, spaced about 3 to 4 feet apart for vining types or 18 to 24 inches apart for bush types. Plant 2 or 3 seeds per hill and tend to 1 healthy seedling later. Spacing is crucial because cucumber vines can spread widely. Proper spacing ensures good airflow, which helps prevent disease. For cucumber seeds to germinate successfully, they need warm, moisture, and also oxygen. The ideal soil temperature is between 21 to 32 degrees Celsius, that's around 70 to 90 Fahrenheit. At these temperatures, cucumber seeds can germinate in as little as 3 to 10 days. To keep the moisture consistent, lightly water the soil every day, especially if it dries out. However, avoid overwatering. Soggy soil can cause seeds to rot before they even sprout. If starting indoors, cover the tray with a plastic dome or cling wrap to trap humidity. This mimics a mini greenhouse and speeds up germination. Once you see sprout, remove the cover and place them where they get plenty of light. So next, water is essential, but it must be balanced. Too much water can cause fungal infections and too little will dry out the seed. During germination, use a spray bottle or gentle watering can to moisten the soil without flooding it. A good practice is to touch the surface with your finger. If the top inch feels dry, it's time to water. Indoor seedlings should be checked daily, while outdoor soil may need watering once or twice a day depending on the weather. You know, germination is successful when the seed splits open and a small green sprout emerge. This first leaf is called the cotyledon, and it's followed by the first set of true leaves which look like miniature cucumber leaves. At this point, you can breathe a sigh of relief. Your cucumber plant is officially on this way. So last, to recap, choose quality seeds, sow in warm and moist conditions, and provide gentle care until sprouting. With the right germination setup, you are giving your cucumbers the best possible start. In the next stage, we'll look at how to care for the seedlings once they have emerged from lighting to transplanting and beyond.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Faisal Hazari. For the transplanting, cucumber seedlings are ready to be transplanted on those when they have 2 to 3 sets of tulips and the risk of frost has passed. Ensure the night temperatures are consistently above 13 degrees Celsius and the soil temperature has warmed up. For the hardening of planting, this is a vital step. About 1 week before you plan to transplant, start moving your seedlings outdoors for a few hours each day. Start moving your seedlings outdoors for a few hours each day. Begin with a sheltered, shady spot and gradually increase their exposure to direct sunlight and wind. This process softens the plant's cell walls and assimilates them to outdoor conditions, dramatically reducing the risk of transplant shock. After a week of this gradual exposure, they will be ready for their final home in the garden. For the first leaves, like other plants, the first leaves that emerge are the cotyledons. The true leaves will appear shortly after. Once your seedlings have grown a few sets of true leaves and the soil temperature is consistently warm, at least 50 degrees Celsius, they are ready to be moved to the final location. For translating and pruning, combining varieties, translating is highly recommended. Save space, keep the fruit clean, improve air circulation, and make harvesting easy. Translating by install a trellis, cage, or other support system at the time of planting. Gently guide the vines up the trellis as they grow. For the pruning, we can prune the vines to encourage better airflow and fruit production. Once a vine has reached up at the top of its trellis, you can pinch or snip off the growing up. This redirects the plant's energy into producing more side shoots and flowers.
Now, let's fast forward to when the plants are already growing beautifully. This is the stage called maintenance. Many people think after planting, you just wait for harvest, but that is far from the truth. Maintenance is actually the most demanding and crucial stage. Without proper care, all the effort from planting could be wasted. At Bayou Farm, daily maintenance is key to healthy and high quality produce. Let's break down what this involves. First is irrigation. The farm uses an efficient drip irrigation system. You can see it here. This allows water to slowly drip straight to the plant roots and minimizing water wastage. In a tropical climate like Sabah, where some days are very hot, this system helps prevent water stress in plant while avoiding diseases caused by too much water. Next is fertilizing. At Bayou Farm, they avoid overusing synthetic fertilizers. Instead, they use organic compost, sometimes made right here from Farm West. Look at this. It smells earthy and it enriches the soil naturally. The team also conducts regular soil tests to monitor nutrient levels and decide when and what type of fertilizer to apply. This means healthy soil equals to healthy plants. Let's talk about a common challenge in every farm, which is weeds. Weeds compete with crops for nutrients, sunlight, and space. Here, weeding is done both manually and with simple tools. In some areas, they use mulch to prevent weeds from growing in the first place, keeping maintenance easier. And another important activity is pruning. You can see here, farmers remove dead or old leaves to encourage stronger plant growth and prevent the spread of disease. This is similar to how we trim our hair to keep it healthy. Also, part of maintenance is pest monitoring. Instead of spraying harmful pesticides, BioFarm uses natural pest control methods. This includes installing yellow sticky traps, applying neem oil spray, and using beneficial insects like ladybugs to eat harmful pests. By avoiding dangerous chemicals, they protect not only the environment but also consumer health. One more fascinating thing about BioFarm does is crop rotation. They change what they plant on the same land every season. Why? Because it keeps the soil healthy, breaks pest cycles, and reduces the risk of disease outbreaks. Lastly, the maintenance team at BioFarm practice daily inspections. Every morning, they walk through the rows, checking for any issues early. This way, small problems can be fixed before they get bigger. In summary, maintenance is like caring for a living being. It requires patience, attention, and love. The result? Healthy, strong crops that are ready to harvest and sell for all of us to eat. So, the next time you eat fresh vegetables, remember, it's not just about planting and harvesting. It's about everyday care that makes farming successful.
Hi, my name is Nur Fatin Nabila. Now I'm going to talk about pests and disease in nursery. Pest and disease management is an essential aspect in nursery operations. Just like human babies, seedlings and young plants are vulnerable, needing careful attention to grow strong and healthy. Effective control isn't just reacting to problems, it's about prevention and early detection to protect the seedlings. Moving on, let's dive into the common pests and disease that BioFarm has encountered in the nursery. Specifically, for young plants like cucumber seedlings, the main culprits are mites, aphids, and fungi. Due to Malaysia's various climates, fungus can sometimes attack the seedlings spontaneously. And there are also several challenges in detecting pests in cucumber seedlings since the pests are very small to detect. To control the pests, BioFarm usually use physical control to throw away the pests. If the infestation is severe, lower doses of pesticides are used to control. As we learned from BioFarm, mites or hama are a significant challenge, largely to their incredibly small size. They are often microscopic, making them very difficult to detect until an infestation is quite advanced. They belong to the class Arachnida, similar to spiders, but they are not insects. Common types. The most common mite in nursery is the spider mite. You might not see the mites themselves, but you will often see signs like very fine webbing, especially on the undersides of leaves or in the leaf axils. Another common one is the broad mite, which causes distorted and stunted growth. Damage. Mites feed by piercing plant cells and sucking out the sap. This leads to characteristic stippling, tiny discolored dots on the leaves. Over time, this damage can cause leaves to turn yellow, brown, and even drop off. Severe infestation can significantly stunt growth, reduce plant vigor, and even kill young plants. Detection challenges. As Bayifam highlighted, their small sizes makes early detection difficult. Regular, close inspection on the undersides of leaves with a magnifying glasses is important. Look for stippling, discoloration, or the fine webbing.
Here, we can observe spider mites on these young seedlings. Their tiny size makes them challenging to spot early. This fine webbing is another clear sign of spider mite activity.
Next, let's talk about kutu, specifically aphids, which are another common and highly problematic pest in nurseries. Unlike mites, aphids are insects, and while still small, they are able to detect easily. Appearance. Aphids are soft-bodied insects, typically green, black, yellow, or even pink, and are often found in clusters on seedlings, young leaves, and flower buds. Damage. Like mites, aphids feed by piercing plant tissues and sucking out sap. This feeding can cause yellowing leaves due to sap depletion. In severe infestation, aphids can cause stunted and distorted growth. The young leaves and shoots may become curled or mishapen. Other than that, honeydew production. Aphids excrete a sticky sugary substance called honeydew. This makes leaves and surrounding areas sticky and can lead to the growth of sooty mold, a black fungus that covers leaves, reducing photosynthesis and making the plant look dirty and unhealthy. Detection. Aphids are relatively easier to spot. You can look for clusters of small pear-shaped insects on seedlings and sticky residues, which is called honeydew. Finally, we have kulat or fungal infections. Unlike pests, fungi are diseases caused by microorganisms. They don't move around like insects or mites, but their spores can spread through air, water, and even contaminated tools. That's why after germinations, seedlings were kept in enclosed nursery area and outsiders cannot enter as they can carry the disease from outside. Common type. First, damping off. This is a classic nursery disease, especially devastating to seedlings. It causes seedlings to rot at the soil line and damp off or collapse. Secondly, powdery mildew. Appears as white powdery spots on leaves, stems, and flowers. It thrives in humid conditions with poor air circulation. Third, downy mildew. Can look similar to powdery mildew but typically appears on the undersides of leaves and has a more fuzzy purplish-gray appearance. Fourth, root rot. Often caused by overwatering and poor drainage, leading to waterlogged conditions that favor root-rotting fungi. Factors influencing fungal growth. As Bayifam mentioned, kulat can attack randomly depending on the climate. This is very true. Fungi thrive in specific conditions, such as high humidity, poor air circulation, overwatering, and the temperature. Damage. Fungal diseases can cause leaf spots, wilting, stem rot, root rot, and eventually die. They can quickly spread and wipe out large numbers of plants.
This is damping off. A fungal disease causes seedlings to collapse.
So, what do we do about these threats? BioFarm gave us excellent insights into their control methods, which align with Integrated Pest Management (IPM) principles. The key is to be proactive and strategic. First, prevention is key. Sanitation. This is paramount in a nursery. Always use sterilized potting mix and clean tools. Remove any dead or diseased plants material immediately. Good air circulation. Space plants adequately to allow for good airflow, especially crucial for preventing fungal diseases. Proper watering. Avoid overwatering. Water at the base of the plant to keep foliage dry, especially important for preventing hulat. Quarantine new plants. Always isolate new plants for a period to ensure they are not bringing in pests or diseases. Environment control. Where possible, manage temperature and humidity levels in the nursery. Secondly, monitoring and early detection. Regularly inspect plants, especially the undersides of leaves and new growth. Use sticky traps to monitor flying insects and winged aphids. Third, control methods. Physical or manual control. As mentioned, for normal infestation of visible pests like aphids or mites, manual removal is effective. This can involve hand picking, hosing plants down with a strong stream of water, or pruning off affected leaves, which is the safest method for young plants. Biological control. Introducing beneficial insects like ladybugs for aphids or predatory mites for spider mites can be a very effective and environmentally friendly approach in a nursery setting, though it requires careful management. Chemical control, which is using pesticides. Pesticides should always be last resort, especially in a nursery with young sensitive plants. Low doses for young plants. BioFarm's approach of using low doses is critical. Young plants are more susceptible to chemical burn. Always use pesticides specifically labeled for nursery or ornamental use and follow instructions meticulously. Targeted application. Apply only to affected areas if possible, rather than broad-spectrum spraying. Organic options. Consider organic pesticides like neem oil, which is very effective against mites and aphids by disrupting their feeding and reproduction. Or insecticidal soaps, which is for smoother, soft body pests. They are generally safer for young plants and the environment. And lastly, fungicides. For fungal issues, specific fungicides may be needed. Again, choose products appropriate for young plants and follow all label instructions. Therefore, managing pests and diseases in nursery is an ongoing commitment. By understanding the threats posed by mites, aphids, and fungi, and by implementing proactive prevention, diligent monitoring, and appropriate control methods, always prioritize the gentle approach for our baby plants. We can ensure a thriving and healthy nursery, producing robust plants for the future. Thank you.
Now for the harvesting. Harvesting cucumber is a satisfying and continuous process. The more we pick, the more plant we produce. When to harvest? The ideal time to harvest a cucumber depends on the variety that's growing, but there are a few key indicators to look for. Now we can look for the size. Check the seed packet for the recommended harvest size. For most slicing cucumbers, it's between 2 and 9 inches long. Pickling varieties are typically harvested when much smaller, around 2 to 5 inches. Harvesting on the smaller side generally results in sweeter flesh and more tender seeds. For the color, the cucumber should have a firm, deep green skin. A yellowing color indicates that the cucumber is overripe, which can lead to bitter taste and tough skin. For the firmness, Gently squeeze the cucumber. It should feel firm to the touch. If it feels soft and mushy, it's past its prime. For the continuous production, don't let the cucumbers get too big on the vine. Leaving them on the plant signals to the plant to slow or stop production, as it has put all its energy into creating seeds. Picking regularly encourage the plant to produce more fruit. For the harvesting tools, instead of twisting or pulling, which can damage the delicate vine, use a sharp knife or a pair of garden shears. Cut the stem about a quarter inch to an inch above the fruit. This method is the least stressful for the plant and prevents the stem end of the cucumber from rotting in storage. For the post-harvest care and storage, immediate wash. After harvesting, rinse the cucumbers gently under cool water to remove any dirt. Do not peel. The skin of a cucumber contains many nutrients and a lot of flavor. Unless the skin is waxy or tough, it's best eat it unpeeled. Storage. Cucumbers store best in the warmest part of the refrigerator, like the crisper drawer. Keep them away from fruits like apples and bananas, as the ethylene gas they produce can cause the cucumbers to yellow and soften prematurely. For best flavor and texture, use them within a week. Thank you.
To conclude, caring for cucumber plants from seed to harvest requires consistent attention and proper techniques at every stage. It all begins with the germination process, ensuring seeds are started in a warm, moist environment. Then comes transplanting, where seedlings need to be handled gently and moved into well-prepared soil. As the plant grows, regular watering, balanced fertilization, and pest management are key to maintaining healthy vines and encouraging fruit development. Monitoring for disease and taking early action also helps to ensure a successful crop. Finally, harvesting at the right time ensures the cucumbers are fresh, crisp, and high in quality. With commitment and the right care, we can enjoy a productive and rewarding cucumber harvest, whether in a home garden or on a larger farm.
Untuk apa? Salam ulang balik Kak.
Apakah jenis tanaman yang ditanam di Nursery Bayu Farm?
Untuk Nursery Bayu Farm, kami tanam apa yang permintaan customer, dan kami tanam juga untuk tanaman kami sendirilah. Biasa kalau untuk nursery kami akan tanam bibit cili lah, cili bara ataupun cili kulai.
Bahasa sekarang tanaman apa Cak yang ada di nursery?
Untuk sekarang dia memang ada yang memang selalu dijual, itu bibit bara dan kulai.
Cili lah?
Iya, cili. Tapi untuk yang lain tuh dia macam kebunan untuk kebun, macam untuk kangkung, bayam, salad, itu biasalah. Itu akan sentiasa tiap minggu kami akan semai.
Kaedah penyemaian yang digunakan mereka?
Kaedah penyemaian, dia timu jenis bibit juga. Tapi kalau biasa kami akan tanam dia macam tanam semaian biasa yang selalu kita semai itu yang untuk cili. Itu, dan kalau untuk macam hydronik, kalau dia perlu tanam untuk di span, kami akan semai di span. Gitu.
Bagaimana pengurusan air dan nutrien dilakukan di nursery?
Di nursery biasa kalau untuk tanaman yang ya macam ada 2 daun sudah, itu untuk cili lah. Biasa kalau ada yang tanaman yang bibit yang ada 2 daun sudah, kami akan start bagi baja. Kami guna baja edu subur. baja cili fertigasi.
Pengurusan fertigasi lah. Ya, yang
Air tuh, itu kami di antara takungan ataupun siram begitu. Kami akan bantu lah.
Apakah cabaran utama yang dihadapi dalam pengurusan nursery?
Biasa kalau di nursery mungkin serangga kurang, tapi kadang-kadang kalau macam ada yang serangga kecil macam hama-hama gitu tuh kami tidak nampak. Jadi itu antara macam kami punya apalah halangan, cabaran, sama satu lagi mungkin kawalan kulat. Sebab kulat ini kami tidak tahu tiba-tiba adakah, tiba-tiba tidak. Jadi tengok cuaca juga kadang-kadang.
Maksudnya pest and disease lah kan?
Iya.
Okay. Berapa lama tempo tumbuh sarang anak pokok ini sebelum dipindahkan ke ladang? Ini di nursery itu berapa lama darah?
Berapa lama? Dia timu jenis tanaman. Biasa kan begitu, dia timu jenis tanaman. Kalau kami tanam timun, kami memang akan selalu tanam timun di sini. Itu dia mengambil masa 10 hari ataupun mau masuk 2 minggu begitu. Baru kami kasih akan pindah lah. Tapi kalau untuk cili itu dia mengambil masa yang lama lah, dalam 1 bulan lebih begitu. Lama juga.
Apakah kawalan serangga perosak?
Kawalan serangga kami guna biasa kalau di Semayan kami tetap guna yang kimia, tapi kami tidak ikut kadar bancuan yang disarankan dalam itu racun itu. Kami akan kasih kurang dia punya kepekatan.
Jadi dia melalui kaedah kimia aja lah buat makan.
Tidak juga, dia timu jenis perusak juga. Kalau macam perusak tuh macam yang terlalu banyak ataupun terlampau tidak boleh dikawal sudah dengan menggunakan organik, kami akan guna kimia. Tapi kalau macam sedikit-sedikit itu tidak boleh.
Kami campur lah. Kadang-kadang guna fisik
ya. Kadang-kadang fisik.
Yang 8, apakah sistem pengairan yang digunakan dan kenapa sistem itu dipilih? Contoh macam fertigasi kan, kenapa dipilih fertigasi?
Di rumah semen berarti ya?
Iya.
Kalau untuk pengairan kami guna siraman di atas, yang apa tuh? Sprinkle, sama kami siram manual lah, dan juga takungan. Tapi itu ikut jenis tanaman juga lah kadang-kadang.
Apa kaedah itu dipilih?
Kalau untuk sprinkle kami guna tuh sebab untuk kasih kurang itu panas dalam tuh rumah semayan, sama satu kali dia tolong kasih siram lah.
Adakah penggunaan baja organik diamalkan di nursery?
Iya. Biasa kami guna baja organik untuk baja foliar gitu lah, kami akan spray.
Bagaimana bagaimana nursery ini menyumbang kepada industri pertanian tempatan?
Nursery ini menyumbang kepada pertanian.
Maksudnya hasil dari nursery itu kemana kamu sumbangkan di pertanian tempatan? Kamu jual kah? Kamu itulah hasil daripada nursery
itu. Kalau hasil itu dia tidak cukup. Hasil itu kami memang akan jual di luar. Gitu.
Jual di luar lah.
Jual di luar dan untuk kegunaan sendiri, tapi hasilnya tetap jual di luar juga begitu.
Oke, soalan terakhir. Adakah nursery ini dibuka kepada latihan industri ataupun pelajar praktikal?
Kalau untuk nursery dia memang karena kasih terapkan juga lah, sebab untuk pertanian dia memang akan start dari semayan lagi Pak. Jadi kami akan ajar dari semayan sampai dia jadi dapat hasil tuh.
Maksud soalan tadi itu macam kamu terima kah pelajar untuk berpraktikal?
Iya terima, sebab memang tujuan untuk yang kami terima tuh macam bantu kami. Jadi dia macam memang dia akan
bimbing lah.
Begitu. Dia akan buat kerja di semayan juga begitu.
Boleh tunjukkan tempat semayan?
Boleh, tapi kami tidak galakkan orang masuk, mungkin dari luar aja lah. Takut itu serangga dari luar datang masuk.
Oke.
Sudah.